Hi, Bob. I hope this message finds you doing well. I'm creating this short video to give you a quick introduction so that you can at least start to get to work on your website, and it'll be a learning progress and process for you. So let me continue from here. I do speak quickly, but you can play it back as many times as you want. I think you'll be able to follow along without a problem. But here is your website. If you scroll down to the bottom, I've got a login hyperlink set up for you right here. So you just click on that. I've got your password already set for me to be saved here, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit log in. You're logging in as an editor, not an administrator. So the back end here looks slightly different for you. If you were an administrator, you would have about another dozen or so options coming down here on the left side of the screen. And then across the top, you would have about another 10 or 8 or 10 options and drop down menus that would get you around the website, excuse me, to different parts that you might be working on. But with that being said, this will certainly get you more than going as an editor. It's the second highest level for working on a website. So with that being said, down here you've got your dashboard going down the left-hand side. You can see there's a few flyouts. Here are what's called posts, and posts are different than pages. You can read more, learn about more about posts, but I'll just explain very quickly that the majority of the things that I saw on the one website was created using posts that appear on pages. So we can talk more about that and learn more about that. But for right now, this is the post, and then you got your flyout. Your media library is you'll be adding all types of files. If you besides photos, you might have some other types of flyers or short videos, those types of things. But you'd add that into your media library. Pages, again, are different than posts, and those tend to be more static. They look the same, but then what you do is you have the posts appear on them that continue to change. We can have them rotating and filter them different ways, and you'll learn more about that as you learn about setting up a blog and starting to post your post. Comments. Right now, I think where it's best we leave that off. You guys are not, I don't think, prepared to start managing comments. You may also need and want to invest in some anti-spam software because bots and spam will hit your comments constantly. And what'll happen is you or your friends will end up having to monitor and decide which ones to approve and not approve. And it can be quite cumbersome and time consuming, but you can decide to handle that in a couple of weeks whenever you're there at that stage. Your profile is for yourself. You can add a little bit about information about yourself. Your tools, I'm trying to remember what other tools you have here as an editor. I'm going to click on that. And right now there's not much here, but I can add other tools if we need to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at pages. Just quickly look at that. If I click on all pages, these are the pages that you currently have. You can see currently there's 34 pages. If you look up here in the top left-hand side, all 34 are published. I got 2 in the trash that I'll dump later. We're using a Beaver builder program to help build some of the pages. And with that being said, if you scroll down, these are the titles of the pages. And then if you hit here, you can see you can go, there's the first 20, and then you've got 14 more pages here. You can see your color coding down here helps you identify how you're doing for your search engine optimization. Obviously, you haven't started on any of that, so it's showing you as a red flag. Your green is under construction, so that's at least got a green thing. But we'll talk more about SEO later. With that being said, we're going to look at post, and this is where we looks very similar. Add new for pages, but that's not what you're going to be doing at this time. You are going to be looking at post, so I can click on post, or I could hover and then click all post, and this page will load. So let's see what happens here. Right now we have 3 posts created. What I'd like to do is quickly create a post for you, and then you can create your own post. There's different ways to do them, and we can eventually set up a template, which might be a little bit easier and better for you guys, but you can at least start practicing, and we can decide about that in a little bit more detail later. Anyway, so you can see here post. Let's go ahead and click add new. Waiting for a second. A lot of data is loading. The title of the post, I don't remember what I copied, but I'm going to go ahead and just paste what I had. And this person's name was Leonard, whatever his name is. Copy and then hit here and then paste that. So, excuse me, I've got the title of the post here. What you want to do while you're at this particular page is that you want to then set some categories and tags that will relate and help this with search engine optimization for Google, Bing, Yahoo. When your users search for someone's name, so a team, fantasy football, those types of things, that your website will start to rank, will improve in ranking. So with that being said, I don't know what his position is. I'm not going to bother reading through this whole thing here to try to figure it out. But I'm going to go ahead and say that he's a quarterback, and I'm going to, for this particular purpose, I'm going to add him as a featured quarterback, and that puts him in a category that then I can set on a page where I can show all featured quarterbacks. Now you may have, I don't know how many quarterbacks there are. Let's say 48 quarterbacks. Obviously, probably more than that in the whole league, but whatever number there is, you would want to have all of them entered in here, probably for ranking purposes. But you do not want to make all of them featured, because you don't. When you put them on a page, you can just have the featured quarterback show, and you can change which ones are featured. You might pick 3 or 5 or 10 of them, or the starters for that week, and have them rotate or appear on a page. And we can talk more how to do that. But that's why you can set different tags and categories so that they will appear on different pages. So when you decide that, if you decide that. So with that being said, I've got him set here as a quarterback and featured. And let's go ahead and make him a rookie also. So, and then some of the tags that you might end up adding. I'm sure he does. Who does he play for here? The Jaguars. So let's put Jags, because that's a term that's users may search for, but then they also may search for the Jaguars, and I'm sure they're with some city, but I don't know what city they're with. So, but you may end up putting the Chicago Jags, and obviously it's not correct. But I thought long enough I'd figure it out. But with that being said, so you'll end up deleting that later. But I was just showing you for the purpose of adding there. Now, the reason why you're adding tags again is for search engines. And then also we have the ability, and you'll see it on your blog, to have certain tags show up when people are searching for, let's say, Tom Brady and other people's names or cities or teams, that those will be flagged, identified, so that users see that's kind of a trending topic. With that being said, let's go ahead and hit set featured image. Here is your media library. Right now we just have these ones here. We can delete these later. But my guess is it's got to be, is it this guy? Don't remember which ones I used before. No, I bet you it's this guy. Anyway, it's probably not. But let me just use this one for this purpose right here. When you're doing this and you have your different photos in your media library, you will want to go and add what's called alternative text. Briefly, alternative text is information for search engines, but more importantly, it's also for handicapped users and computers that don't have the images on and other types of stuff. So here, let's just put quarterback, if I can spell, and I know it's not Peyton Manning, but let's say that it is, and you can delete these later, change these later, and Super Bowl. And so that's the alternative text that would show up at different times. Not worth getting into during this video. Title, well, let's go ahead and make, this is Walter Payton. I'll add, or Peyton Manning, because we were using him already. Peyton Manning, let's see. And then whatever. And then caption, you're probably not adding captions. You may at some time, but as you know, a caption appears underneath the photo. Most of the times I have captions set off on most websites. If you decide you want to start adding captions, we can do that. But for the most part, I would leave those blank. The last part here is you want to add, description. So Super Bowl champion, Peyton, blah, blah. Maybe just a sentence, a few words. And the reason why, again, for search engines, but also it helps appear depending on the theme and other things that are happening, not the themes, but the computers and browsers that end up users use will display sometimes more information for one reason or another, and use this information. So if they're using Safari or Dig or whatever some of the other different browsers may be, and that's probably not one of them, Dolphin is, but with that being said, it may display or help use the description. So and that's all you need to use on this one here. So let's go ahead and set the featured image. You can see it here. And then there's more things we can do by customizing the page with Beaver Builder, but because I want to end this video and get you working, I'm not going to do that at this time. I'm going to click Publish. And then what I'm going to show you here is that what we just did, be patient. Again, a lot of data loading. So if you start clicking around, I'm not a patient person, but you'll end up cause yourself a little bit of a problem with some caching issues that'll cause you some frustration. So it'll seem like the site's not working because you click things too quickly. So with that being said, I'll give it a chance to load. You can see now it's loaded. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and look at the website itself. So I could have clicked on visit website, or I clicked on the words here. We're back on the website. One of the things I mentioned to you is that a blog will appear, I'm sorry, your post will appear on your blog at this time. So you can see we just created this post right now. You did, Bob Miller. You don't have comments. We can remove this so this doesn't show at this time. And then we added the featured image. And then here, and then if people want to read more, you can see here we need to format and clean up the page some, and we can do that later. But you can go ahead and start getting the content in. But we'll make this so that it fits into a template properly. But there's no reason for you to wait. You can start to do some of that. And actually, what I'll show you on the next one here is to the next video I create later so that it does a little cleaner job for you right off the bat. So I'm going to want to end the video there, but what I want to do is show you another thing real quick, because this is take some of your time and it will help if you do this now, or you can do it when you start adding stuff. It's up to you. But if you end up going to if you hover over post and then go to categories, there's tags also, but you can see the different categories. You're going to want to add a category like every team, and then you want to add like Chicago would be Chicago Bears, it would be Chicago, and it would be Bears. So that's like 3 times you'd end up entering that in. But your slugs, basically, as you start, maybe you don't need to worry about that. But let's do this: Tampa Bay. I'm going to spell this wrong. Buccaneers. Sorry, you can fix this later. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Come on. Okay, so I've got that there. The slug, what you use lower case letters, Tampa, and then Bay, and then Buck. Let's just go Bucks. I better go Buccaneers. Keep it consistent. Don't want to confuse you and have you doing things you shouldn't be doing. So here you just set the slug. If you decide to do that, if you don't want to do that, that's okay. But again, this will help you with search engine optimization. This is actually what will appear in the URL itself. So if you type Tampa Bay Ducks, then up here it will appear Tampa Bay Ducks. And then what ends up happening is search engines will get confused if you're talking about the Ducks versus the Buccaneers, and it doesn't help with your ranking. It may neutralize it, but it doesn't help. So with that being said, that's really all you need to do there. If you want to add some information, again, a sentence, that's fine. But if not, don't bother. I'll go ahead and add another category. Then just add every new team. Then the positions. I don't think I added all the positions. Quarterback. I don't know if you're ranking every position, tight end, that type of stuff. Then you'd end up doing, let's just do this here because I don't think I have. Oh, yeah, I do already have tight ends, cornerbacks. Let's do tackle. So let's do, for this point, I'll show you left tackle. So left tackle, and I'm sure you're not going to rank that, but then my slug would be here, left, hyphen, tackle, and then probably their offense, defense. I don't even remember now at this time, but then maybe on both. But with that being said, I add my new category, and you can delete that later. But that's what you want to do. Then what you also do while you've got a little bit of time, having a glass of wine or something like that, but then you start adding some new tags. And I don't know a good example of tags. I'll just leave it blank for right now. I was trying to maybe like some of the cities you could add also as tags. Injured might be a tag. Traded could be a tag. Those are just examples, but maybe you don't need to worry about that at this time. You've got enough to work on. I know this is a longer video than what I had expected, but thanks for hanging in there, and I know we'll talk again soon. Thanks, Bob. Take care. Bye-bye.